Hey guys, one of my biggest teachers is my neck injury, and I don't even like saying that my neck injury as if I own it. The injury in my neck is the best it's been in a long, long time, and I don't want to really own the pain that was there. It was like that was, it was there for a certain lesson and something for me to learn and integrate and understand about myself. It was giving me a lot of messaging about certain parts of myself that I just wasn't aware of. So I'll talk about some of the layers of it. So the regional injury come in like 2008 or something like that. Saw a chiropractor for it. It was more down in the rib area. That helped somewhat. I saw what a chiropractor could do, but someone who's chiropractor sort of just do some cracking and then leave, like 15-minute consults. So it wasn't really a thing for me. It didn't seem good enough for me. Then I went and saw a guy did onsen. So he was a true body worker, and I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot. So the injury took me to someone very special. And then I learned about Jason Irving through this guy. So that injury took me to a major place in my life. So I thanked that experience. So the body working he did is seeing that basically my pelvis and sacrum weren't moving too well. And that still is the case because there's a bit of a leg length difference. So I learned that the pelvis, how it holds itself, can have an impact upon how the spine distorts and rotates, and ultimately puts stress through different sides of the vertebra in the neck. And then muscles that would hold that in place. It would affect ribs and breathing and all sorts of stuff. So that was one layer. So that took me a long way in my journey of healing and understanding and helping other people with neck injuries, because neck injuries is one of my specialties. I treat people who have a lot of avenues have been exhausted through physiotherapy and other methods, and I come along and I have a different way. So then I learned some more things about neurology, about breathing, and that when you have a neck injury, the body's still in the fight or flight mode. So the fight or flight receptors in the top part of the lungs, the scalene muscles connect to the first and second rib, they start pulling up. They start here on every single breath. So every single breath that you do is actually sustaining the neck pain. So to get the body out of a fight or flight mode is massive, and that's an autonomic response. That's to do with the back of the brain. It's to do with perception of threat, and DIMS and SIMS. DIMS is danger in me, and SIMS is safety in me. So promoting anything to create more safety inside yourself. When you have a body that's giving you pain all the time, that's unpredictable in its pain, is threatening. So there's more neurotransmitters to do with pain, and there's less to do with feeling good and healthy. So there's things you do to get the better ones pumped up with diet and certain therapies and all that sort of stuff. Then I went through a phase of learning about polyarticular chains. So there's 3 or 4 different series of chains that the neurology learns as we grow, and it's all based off asymmetries of our organs to begin with, and then stress patterns and compensation patterns on top of compensation patterns. And realizing that I'm a poor breather, from what I heard with the dentist, my jaw didn't form properly, and that's because of breathing. And if you have crooked teeth, it's actually a sign that your airway didn't form properly. Being a mouth breather for probably the first 15 years of my life till I started meditation and retrained that. That's all impacts the neck. I have eye difference, so there's a big dominance of the right eye, and the left eye has got the stigma, and so vision has a huge impact upon neck injuries and injuries in general, especially ones that don't budge with certain forms of treatment. And then one of the final stages, then going into the emotional reasons, like what's held emotionally in this area here. This chakra here is to do with trust, and there's a big element of mistrust in my psyche from what I've learned, and it's good to mistrust people, mistrust yourself, and mistrust things. That's healthy, that's mature, but there's a part that also needs to learn to trust. So it's healthy to have a mistrusting part, and it's healthy to have a trusting part, and it's healthy to have a trust of the mistrust as well. Not everyone you should trust. You shouldn't fucking listen to everything that ever comes out of their mouth. Or comes out of your own mouth. So that's to do with trust. So I started working on that, and what I found was inside here, like the voice inside here was absolute belligerence. and that's all related to my childhood, which is to do with domestic violence, not feeling safe at all, um, a lot of anger, fear, feeling of being annihilated, all that sort of stuff. Is like, no wonder there's so much issue in this area here. No wonder it's impacted my breathing all my life. Affects fatigue levels, and it's a big driver of change for me in my life. So I can have a big appreciation for where that is now. Um, yeah, so this injury in my neck is one of the primary drivers of change in my life, and it's a loss to be able to do a few things. There's some things I don't do, but there's not much. There's not much. I had chronic pain in that area for 8 months straight, where I couldn't keep my head straight. I couldn't even meditate, and that was a big thing. So I learned to meditate while I was laying down, and I made big progress internally with that. And then I saw a chiropractor who actually knew what she was doing, and I got rid of nearly the problem in one go almost. It was because the rib wasn't sitting right, and I knew it wasn't. I remember the sequence of how the problem was created, and she corrected that, corrected the sacrum underneath upper part of the mouth here, the spinobasilar complex. It's like an on-off switch for the brain if that's not in the right place, and it's to do with the sphenoid bone between the eyes here too. If that's not in the right place, it's like nothing in the body can be aligned. The throat does a similar thing. The hyoid bone is like the spirit level of the body. If the spirit level isn't level, do with side bends and rotation through the entire body, along with the eyes trying to keep straight, it's hard to realign the whole body. So both those areas for me, no wonder the neck was an issue, and after really delving into every aspect, there's a karmic part to this. I believe there's a past life element here, but it's in the end, the things from our past lives, the patterns we're meant to work with, the energies we work with from that is developed in our childhood, in our patterning anyway. So we're working it that way. I hope that helps for your injuries.